What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tania Bright. I am a full-time tarot reader and a student astrologer. So today we're going to be doing another pick a card tarot reading, and we're going to be giving you insights, confirmation, and messages in regards to this new moon in Cancer coming up on July 9th. So we have 4 piles laid out here for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with the rose quartz, pile 2 with the labradorite, pile 3 with the flower agate, and pile 4 with the aquamarine. You can be drawn to as many piles as you'd like. Each of the messages are going to be pretty different from each other. So yeah, take a deep breath, close your eyes, set some intentions, think about what kind of messages and clarity you're hoping to get. And then when you open your eyes, go ahead and watch for the cards or the crystals that you felt the most drawn to. I'll leave timestamps down below, and I'll give everybody a moment to go ahead and do that. What's up, everyone? So if you chose pile number 1 or the rose quartz, then this message is for you. I'm really excited to be working with this reading. Like, tapping into this group's energy just gave me like a boost in energy, if that makes sense. It made it like kind of made my mood happier. It kind of uplifted my vibe, and I think that's true about this group's aura right now. Like, I think, you know, the people around you are very grateful for you, and I think that your presence and your energy makes them feel more motivated, makes them feel happier, like they feel very inspired by you and the way you live your life and the way you carry yourself and the way you look at the world. And I think that might be surprising to this group for some. I'm sensing the vibe that this group's kind of like, huh? Me of all people? Because I can tell that you guys, this might not be true for everybody, but it's making me laugh because I feel like a part of this group has like kind of like gloomy, like introverted energy. Maybe not gloomy, but maybe like a little bit more shy and introverted. But I don't think you realize how impactful you are regardless. And I don't think you realize how much the people around you value you and love you and care about you. And with that being said, I feel like this group needs to take more, you know, just receive more. Okay, we haven't even flipped this card over. Let me flip this card first before I continue. Oh, wow. And we have the Ace of Cups. And I feel like that goes with exactly what I was saying. Like, I feel like okay, let me continue with what I was saying. I feel like this group, first of all, needs to receive more, let themselves be, you know, receive help, let themselves receive love, let themselves receive friends. Like, I feel like you might have this guard up, and it's like maybe a guard to like protect yourself, you know, from getting hurt. Maybe it's just a guard because you don't quite trust yourself with the situation. I don't know, but this Ace of Cups tells me and confirms to me that it's okay to let that guard down, because it's okay to start rooting yourself in a place of love now. You don't have to root yourself in a place of fear. You don't have to root yourself in a place of, you know, like hurt. You don't have to root I don't know what the past rootage was, but Spirit is now telling you that it's maybe time to root yourself in a little bit more love. An example of this, instead of doing something because you know, have to, it's a societal norm, whatever, you're doing it because you're told to. You gotta start living life where you do things because you love it. And that transition, you know, might be hard as you let go of certain things that you were doing, you know, that weren't rooted in love, and you start to take on and build a new life that is. But that transition period is going to be worth it, because you're going to be just so much happier living a life rooted in love. And, you know, what do I mean by that? And I think I have a previous tarot reading that has a similar message to this. If I remember to edit that in, I'll, you know, link it at the top. But if I don't, then I'm sorry. Your girl is busy. But anyways, what do I mean by this? You know, let's say you're, you know, decorating your room. Instead of just getting like the cheapest furniture, get furniture you freaking love. You know, that's what I mean by rooting life in love. So when you're in your room, you feel happy. You feel like you're surrounded by things you love. You know, instead of just hanging out with this person because they asked you to and you're like, whatever, sure. you know, learn how to say no to that and only hang out with people that you really love, you know? And then maybe you'll find that you have more genuine, real connections with people. There's this energy of stop settling for less, start rooting yourself in more love, start only accepting things that you love, and so on. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. No wonder why this group has such a, you know, warm energy to them, because, you know, I think you don't even realize that so much of you has changed. I feel like this group went through a transformation where they went from something like really hurt and really broken, and they've turned it into something so strong and so golden and so bright. And that's what makes people look at you. That's what makes people be in awe of you, your ability to take, your ability to transmute, you know, your adversity and turn it into something beautiful. And I think the people around you have watched you do that, and that's why they are so proud of you, and that's why they are so down for you. And I think a part of you is having a hard time trusting them still. That's okay, you know, it'll take time, but I think you have people around you that are gonna prove it, and that will take the time to build a connection with you, because connections aren't built overnight, you know what I mean? It takes years of trusting and of you know, friendship and of being there for each other to really know that this person is here for the long run and is here for genuine reasons. Take your time with that process. I feel like that process is still healing for you, but do try to let more people in. Ooh, I have this energy of the Magician coming out. Let's see what else comes out. I think I want to pull the spread before I keep talking. Okay, so we have Queen of Wands, flipped over. Let's pull the bottom cards too. Let's move this. All right, let's pull the bottom cards too. All right, Two of Pentacles. I like that energy. Queen of Wands. Let's get some confirmation for this Queen of Wands. Oh, that's too much. A lot of stuff fell. So we're gonna put that back. Give it a shuffle. And let's get more precise with it. My brain is like fried a little bit. And I mean that in like, I'm tired. I'm just tired but I have energy, but like, it's a weird like mix of tired and having energy. And maybe that's true for this group. Like maybe you guys are this weird mix of like, you're tired, but you also have ample amount of energy, so you just get shit done anyway. And I think it's important to feed the tiredness though. Make sure you nap and rest when you can. Like I'm definitely gonna nap after this reading. All right, so we have Ace of Wands coming out to confirm that Queen of Wands. I love this energy of this Ace of Wands to the Queen. We also have our Ace of Cups here. Lots of aces. When I see aces, I think a person is rooting themselves. I think a person has been taken out of like their pot and put into a new pot. That's kind of how I think of it. It's like when you take a pot and you got to move it into a bigger pot, and you know, you kind of have to watch it because it still has to settle in. You know, you got to make sure the pot is the right size, and the plant is learning, you know, how much water it needs, and you know, if you've taken care of plants or whatever, you know that moving them into a new pot is like a little process. And I feel like that's what this group is doing. You're moving into a cute new little pot made just for you. Something about this new chapter feels like it's made just for you. Like you're like the main character in this new chapter. That's funny because we have this Queen of Wands energy. Ooh, my tummy is grumbling, so I'm sorry if you hear it. Okay, let's see. Four of Swords coming out, and Nine of Pentacles coming out. Ooh-wee. So let's talk about this Magician and the Five of Swords card first. Or not Five of Swords, sorry. Two of Pentacles. I don't know why I'm thinking of the Five of Swords, but the Five of Swords is a card of, you know, putting that conflict down. So that's an interesting message coming through. But anyway, so one thing I'm seeing here with the Magician card is that you have everything you need. Let me channel this energy, because I look at all these tools on the table here. It has the sword, it has a cup, it has a pentacle, it has a rod, all of the suits. So you have everything you need right now. You do. And I think there's an ability to juggle everything with this Two of Pentacles. Like it feels like everything's like kind of in your hands, and I think that's a little overwhelming perhaps for this group. Something tells me that this group is like very, very like spiritual, or very like submissive, or very, not submissive, that's not the best word, okay? Like it just feels to me that something about this group, like they like when spirit leads them. They like following, the call to things. They like that process, but it kind of feels like now you're in the lead, and now things are in your hands, and maybe all that power is like overwhelming. You know what I mean? Maybe you're like, suddenly everything's my choice. Suddenly everything is in my hands. Suddenly I have to decide all this. And I feel like you're that group that maybe doesn't really like to do that. Maybe you're more of like a go with the flow type person. And so now you're like, oh, everything is like in my hands, but you can handle it. You can handle it, group number one. And again, I think that's why you got to root things in love. If you're having trouble deciding, ask yourself, if it really makes you happy. Ask yourself if it's something that you love, or ask yourself if it's something you're doing for someone else, something you're doing out of love, or doing it for someone else. I really like this energy of this Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. It kind of indicates to me like a upgrade, or like a growth that happened, especially I think on a creative level, or on a passion level, or on a spiritual level even. It just feels like there is a maturity that went down, or there is a sort of like ascension that went down. Something about this group feels extremely magical to me, and I say that in like, maybe they themselves are quite intuitive. Like maybe we have a lot of energy workers here, maybe we have a lot of just like, I don't know, like readers here, but something about that seems like it improved. Even if you're not like, someone who reads for other people, even if you're reading for yourself, it just feels like that intuition has improved. That connection with the divine has improved. That connection with your inner self and your soul has improved. And your ability to express that has improved as well. And I think it's because you're really just starting to understand what you do. Even if you're not a magical person, I see that you as a artistic person, as a spiritual person, a creative person, a musical person. There's a level of craft here. Even if you're just like woodworking or whatever, like I said, there's a level of craft here, and you get like perfecting that craft, or really getting that craft down. And I think people are starting to notice it too. I think people are starting to notice. And again, I think that's why you got to make sure you're rooted in what you love, because I think when you love it is when you're passionate about it, This is interesting, this energy. Give me a second to channel this like Four of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles energy. And I'm really getting this energy of like work and rest for this group. And I think that can get a little bit like boring, or that can get a little bit like redundant, and that can kind of make you like lose the passion for things, or kind of make you, for some, I feel like it can make you lose the passion, but for others, I do feel a sense of like eye on the prize too as well. So you don't mind the redundantness, you don't mind that you're in this work, grind, sleep mode, because you have your eye on the prize. So make sure you're doing that, keeping your eye on the prize. Let me channel this Nine of Pentacles energy, the Six of Pentacles energy, because right off the bat I get the word contentment, and I'm getting the word teachers. Good teachers here, or good people guiding you, or good friends, good neighbors. Like good people surrounded. Let me channel this. I feel good community. Ooh, you know what's something I'm channeling for this group? It's a difficulty with speech. I feel like ever since I got to this later half of this reading, my speech and channeling the messages is becoming a little hard. So this is interesting because in the beginning half of the reading, I said that this group has really strong intuition. So I feel like it's like we have two kind of practices here of intuition. The intuition where you're trying to interpret something, and then the intuition where you trust your gut. You know what I mean? So I hope I'm describing this okay. But there's this intuition where you're like, I feel like I should follow this call. I feel like I can't do that anymore. I should switch to this thing, whatever. You know, there's this questioning, like following the call, following the fogginess. And then this later half of the month, there is no fogginess. There is none of that. And that's why I don't think I'm getting a lot of intuitive messages here, because things kind of are as they is, what the heck, are as they are. Do you know what I mean? It's like this group came down from cloud 9 and they're suddenly grounded. It's like this group, I feel like you've been in the magical state for so long. You've been doing the, intuitive work, and now you're doing the real life work. We went from wands to pentacles. Wands, spirituality, pentacles, the material world. Like, you've gone from maybe intuitively trying to decide is school or work or this person, whatever, the right path for me, to suddenly actually being in school, suddenly actually doing the job, suddenly actually being in the relationship. And I think it's been a long time since you've been able to live your life like that. And that could be due to the pandemic and stuff, but I feel like it's been a while since you felt grounded and in your body. Something about this group, I'm getting chills now as I say this all over my legs. But something about this group feels like they've been super out of body. Like they've been maybe deep in their mind lately, or deep in their work or whatever, and they haven't even gotten a chance to just sit there and live life, sit there and be in their body, sit there and take a bath, sit there and smell the roses, you know what I mean? And now you're doing it. Now you're in real life building for yourself something tangible. I feel like that there hasn't been something tangible for this group in so long. Maybe connections have always been online, and now suddenly you're making real, in person, in face connections. Maybe work has always been kind of online, school's been online, now suddenly you're in class, suddenly you're in that job again. And I think it's a weird shift for this group, but I think it feels good. It feels grounding. It feels yes, I have community. Yes, I have something real. You feel real again. I feel this group has been in a freaking fever dream. And again, I feel I'm getting super esoteric here. I really hope it's you guys are able to kind of keep up with it, but it feels this group has been in it feels they've been in dream mode, and now suddenly they're in real life mode. I'm gonna just stop saying this message now because I feel I'm repeating it over and over again in 5 different ways. But I just love this energy because it feels like you're happy again. Something about things not being tangible wasn't really that happy. I feel it was really lonely, and I feel this group isn't as lonely now. You're just not as lonely. And there's still so much more relationships to come in. There's still so much more tangible opportunities coming in for you. This is just a peak. This is just the beginning, group number 1. Okay, so I do kind of want to pull a little bit of extra cards for this group. I'm kind of going about the messages intuitively in terms of structure, but let's see. I think I'm going to pull from the Psychic Tarot deck and kind of see what tangible, opportunities are coming forward for this group. Let's see. No, as I shuffle this deck, it's a no from me. We're going to pull a different deck then. Let's see. Let's do Archangel. Yes, we're going to pull for this group. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some confirmation cards for this group on what kind of like tangible things are coming forward. What type of tangible opportunities are coming forward? Let's see. Confirmation. Ooh, I'll just pull a few more. Oh, these cards are flying everywhere. Anything else? All right, let's give it another pass. All right. I can tell this deck wants to talk to you guys. And there's another card that fell on the floor over here, so let me grab that. So far away. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we have here. Okay, so first card we have decision. It says release yourself from that which holds you back, a need to detox, unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence. And we also have the solution cards that fell, and it said success that comes from objective compromise, self-control, and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So I love this energy of decisions and solutions, because what was I saying earlier? That it felt like a lot was in your hands. And this to me kind of confirms that you make the right ones, the ones that lead to happiness, the ones that lead to success. So really trust your gut there. It's interesting because we also have the High Priestess here. So powerful psychic insights, reflections, and meditation that provide valuable information. Be at peace. So really the reason why these decisions fell in your hands is because you are the most capable of doing it. You are the most genuine and authentic to this situation. Like, you were able to make the most, the decision that's best for the greater good. So trust your gut, trust your intuition here. And I feel like, I like this energy of powerful psychic insights. I feel like you'll be getting like a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities. I think it's important to sit with yourself for a second, turn off the technology, turn off the TV screens, and just sit there, play music, vibe, and relax. And just see what kind of thoughts come up. Meditation doesn't always have to be like, you sitting on a mountain and being quiet. Meditation is just you going into that trance mode. So try to put yourself in that trance mode. So example, I go into meditation every time I play an instrument, because those instruments put me into a trance. And when I'm in that trance, I am connected to something that's out of this world. Or it's like when, skateboarders are like doing tricks, they're in that trance, trying to connect to something and synchronize to something outside of this world. And I think that's going to be important for this group, is finding out what kind of ways you can put yourself into a trance and sort of download psychic messages for yourself. I've been feeling that this group is very magical, very intuitive, and I think it's time that you start to use your power for yourself. Stop listening to the collective messages, and I say this as y'all are watching my tarot video, but I'm for real. Like, stop listening to the YouTube tarot reader, you know what I mean? Start to listen to yourself. Something about this moment is tangible, and that means sometimes the cards can't help with that. Sometimes logic is going to have to help with that, I think if we put too much emphasis on spirituality, that is also unhealthy. And if we allow spirituality to rule our entire lives, I think that can also become very unhealthy. And so there's a balance here that needs to happen. And I think this group is very much in balance with that, but this is just your confirmation to stay in balance. Next card we have is Six of Gabriel. It says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project, awards, scholarships, or promotions. I love that for this group. Then we have the Sun card. It says, life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. I told you, there's something about your energy that is like magical or captivating. The Sun card, when I think of fire energy, I think of attractiveness. When we see something bright and hot and fiery, we all look and we all stare. You have that type of energy right now. And maybe you don't like it. Maybe, like I said, you're someone who's a little bit more shy, but you need to let this Queen of Wands thrive. Let this Queen of Wands show. Okay? Last card we have here is Eight of Raphael. It says there's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right, a spiritual quest. I really feel like you are just at the beginning of something. And I feel like that feels super surprising because this beginning already is so like powerful, or this beginning is already so dense, or this beginning is already so like full of events. But yeah, it's really just the start, hun. And let me tell you, sometimes we have moments in our life where it's like smooth sailing, peaceful times, not much is going on. And then sometimes we have moments in our life where there's so much going on. And that doesn't mean it's bad. Something about this group feels like there's a lot of good going on. And I'm not going to say it's all good because life isn't all good. I'm not going to say it's all bad because life isn't all bad. But I feel like there is a happiness with this chapter that you haven't had in a long time, and that makes me really excited for this group. Okay, so remember, root yourself in love with this time, with this quest, with this chapter, with this journey, with this new beginning. Root yourself in love. Do things because you love it. Be with people because you love them. Buy things because you love it. Wear things because you love it. Eat things because you love it. Okay, you deserve it. You deserve it. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, comment some heart emojis down below so I know which pile you picked. And feel free to tweet at me or comment and tell me what you think of this reading. I really love hearing feedback from you guys. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello everybody, so if you chose pile number 2 or this labradorite stone, then this message is for you. So let's go ahead and flip it over. I'm really excited to see what this card is. Ooh, and we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so something I'm noticing right off the bat is this little crab in the cup. Okay, so that's very significant to this new moon because our new moon is in Cancer. And if, for those of you who don't know, the crab is a sign for Cancer, the animal sign for Cancer. So this tells me that this season for you is really significant. It's giving me a lot of 9th house, 10th house, 11th house energy, in a sense where we're reaching forward now. We're not really dealing with things on an internal level. We're not really, you know, soul searching anymore. We kind of like got those answers, and now it's time to, you know, reach forward, kind of like light at the end of the tunnel energy I'm seeing here. And another thing I'm channeling is the word density for this group. It really feels like this time period is a little bit dense, in a sense where you might have like so much on your plate or so much to do. Like you have meeting after meeting after meeting, or you have like school and then work and then, you know, your creative passions, or maybe you have your relationship and then you have your school and then you have your work. You know, it just feels like a lot of different parts of life suddenly bloomed for you. And this is giving me chills as I say this. It feels like you've planted so many different seeds in so many different areas over the past maybe year, and now all of them are starting to bloom at once, and you're like, holy crap, I can't even recognize my garden anymore. It's like they all bloomed overnight, and then you woke up and you're like, where am I in the garden? I can't even see over the flowers that bloomed. I hope that analogy makes sense, but it feels very prosperous. Even though it feels a little overwhelming, it feels prosperous. It feels like a lot of blessings happened. And I'm also getting, you know, the sentence, sometimes your blessings are a test. And they're not always a bad test. Not all tests are bad. It's just kind of like universe is like, we trust you with all this. You know, are you gonna amount to it? You know, we trust you with all these blessings. Are you gonna take care of them? Or are you gonna fall behind? Are you gonna let yourself flop? So I think something that's really important with this group is staying on time, staying on tasks, having a strict schedule, making sure you're fueling your body and getting enough rest so you can get the things you need to get done. Schedule in your rest. Schedule in your rest. I cannot stress this enough. Burnout is like one of the quickest ways to failure, and I have learned that as a small business owner and as a reader and a content creator and having to do a million different things at once, I'm telling you, burnout is a killer. Burnout is the quickest way to fail. So rest. Make sure you're resting. Oh my, oh my. So this new moon in Cancer is going to be big for this group. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. I'm going to be pulling from, you know, the Rider-Waite tarot deck. We'll give it a good shuffle. Get the deck acclimated to this group's energy. Let's see. Check out what house Cancer rules in your birth chart, and that is where the new moon is happening. And new moons, they signify a new beginning. They signify a new cycle for the months. You can set new intentions on a new moon. It's a great time to kind of like clean out your spaces, get things all fresh and new. So yeah, we do have new moons and full moons every single month. So I kind of like to think of them as like your maintenance, like your cue to check in on your maintenance. You know, your emotional maintenance, your mental maintenance, spiritual, physical. That's how I like to think about it. And then on full moons, I kind of like to reflect a little bit more. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what's up for this group. So can we get some new moon messages for this group? Ooh, so you have the King of Swords that fell. Was there another card that fell? I thought there was. Okay, I love this King of Swords energy because this kind of tells me that this group has a level of mental clarity or a level of intelligence that like they maybe haven't had in a while. Ooh, let me put that back. But it kind of feels like this group has a lot of clarity. It's like you know what you're doing and you're kind of like not in your way anymore on a mental level. And I feel like you've earned that. I feel like you've been doing the healing work and you've earned that. Your mind is strong. Your mind is with you and on the same page as you now. And I think that's such a big thing for this group. And I want to commend this group as I say that. We also have Wheel of Fortune popping out with a bunch of other cards. But I want to commend this group because I really feel like you've been in the rut with that before. You've had those mental conflicts. You've had those mental demons. You've had those mental arguments in your head, and it's like now you finally have become your own friend in a way. And I think you've tamed those inner demons and you've kind of, I don't know, you've kind of like healed, I think, your mental dialogue is what it feels like. It feels like you've healed your mental dialogue a bit. If this isn't resonating with you, then this is a big sign to heal your mental dialogue. Try it, and the way I suggest going about that is to first just become aware of it. Become aware of it, and the way to do that is to journal. The way to do that is to talk out loud. You need to hear what's actually going on in there, or read what's going on in there, so you know how to fix it. So start with being I'm getting tongue twisted, but start with being aware of it, and then you'll kind of be able to intuitively figure out how to heal from there. But it kind of feels like this group, yeah, like you're not the like flower that bloomed in a dark room anymore. That's funny. I channeled that quote. It's a Kendrick Lamar quote. I'm forgetting the name of the song because I'm so bad with titles. But it's a Kendrick Lamar song, and I tweeted that yesterday, and now it's coming up in this reading, so I definitely think it's for someone in this group. But it definitely feels like you're not that flower that bloomed in a dark room anymore. So you don't have to be, your mind doesn't always have to be afraid. Your mind doesn't always have to be anxious. Your mind doesn't always have to be sad. You've crawled your way out of that. You are in a place now where your mind can be happier, where you can be a little bit more at peace. Oh my, look at this, the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Chariot, and we have 10 of Pentacles. This right here is telling me that the new moon and the month of July, it in a lot of ways is a cultivation period for you. And here's the thing is, even when your flowers bloom, you still have to maintain them, right? You still have to water them every day, so you got to do the work. And I think that's something you have to do here is maintain your blessings now. Let's say you got the blessing of a newer and better house, maintain that by paying your rent. Let's say you got the blessing of a job promotion, maintain that by doing the work. Don't let these things slide. And I like this energy of Wheel of Fortune. I think there's a lot of material boosts coming in for this group. I'm seeing lots of presents. Perhaps we have a lot of birthdays here, but I'm seeing presents. I'm seeing free things coming to you, like finding, free stuff for whatever you need, free equipment, free furniture, free supplies, whatever, free cards. And I'm also seeing the energy of popularity boost, and I'm seeing the energy of like money boost, like your business doing better, your job promoting you, random bonuses, something really cool for this group. And again, that feels like you've earned that. That's a cultivation period. You've set that seed far, a long time ago, and that too is now coming to fruition. I'm also seeing that this group like moved, or this group like is in a transition period right now with a lot of things. So a lot of things are like about to change, like new beginnings are about to start. There's a lot of things like on the brink. That's kind of what I'm channeling. There's a lot of things on the brink here. And this Chariot card tells me that you're very guided. All right, guided as that happens. So really trust the intuition, really trust the timing of things, and don't rush it. I'm seeing in a bit of like wanting to rush because things are so dense and because you want to keep up with life, but there really is like, again, like rushing is also not divine timing. You know what I mean? Being ahead of things is not, can throw you off just as much as being, behind things. Sometimes just keeping up is fine. And I think a big thing that I want to say for this group is stop expecting perfection from everything, because I think expecting perfection from things is holding you back a lot more than you think. And I think it's not letting you get done certain things because you're expecting perfection. Sometimes things just need to get done. You know what I mean? Sometimes things just need to get done. You don't always have to have the A. You don't always have to, I guess my point is your best is enough. I don't want you to not try your best. You need to be out here trying your best, because your best is what got you here, and your best is what's gonna keep it. You know what I mean? Things can leave as well as easy as they come in. So keep doing your best, but do know your best is enough. All right, do know your best is enough, and know when to cut your losses. Like, let's say you missed that homework assignment or whatever. Fuck it, okay? Fuck it then. If you have a million other more important things to do, then that one homework assignment is probably not going to take your grade. Do you know what I mean? So kind of know when to take your losses. Don't be lazy. Be smart. And keep up. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull some confirmation for these cards. This is so interesting. I love this group's energy. I really do. Your energy is quite charged, and I think you're not used to that because I'm sensing a lot of like sleepiness at the same time. It's like your body's kind of like, whoa, all of a sudden we have like energy, or your body's like, whoa, all of a sudden we have things to do. Like I feel like you're coming out of hermit mode, coming out of like a stagnant period. So I think it's important to kind of let your body adjust to your new routine and to your new schedule. The body takes about 2 weeks to adjust, but since you're kind of going through a dense time, your body might need a little bit more time than that, and give it that time. I love this Page of Swords energy coming out to confirm our King of Swords energy, because this is what I'm getting. You might be new at something, and you might be like apprenticing at something. You might be like kind of like at the very bottom of your career, about to build up. You might have a brand new business, whatever. You might be new at something, but you're no dummy. You're You might be new at something, but you're smart. You have some level of experience, or you have some level of talent to back it up, or you have some level of education to back it up. So don't let, older people try to make you, or like not old, well, I don't want to say older people, but I'm kind of getting that. Don't let like colleagues who have like, maybe been in the game longer than you make you feel like you're not anything just because you're new, or make you feel like you're lesser than people just because you're new. That's absolutely not true. You know what the fuck you're doing. You know what you're doing, and you're about to show it to everybody. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this Wheel of Fortune. But okay, also I am also getting the sentence, don't get in your head. Like, don't let your ego get into your head. Don't let, all these hot shot blessings coming to you get to your head. Be humble, be grateful, be accepting. I think an ego will kill you. It'll just kind of throw off your popularity, or it'll kind of throw off the respect, that the people around you may have. And I think a lot of why you are this, or a lot of how you got this far, is your support, is your support system, is the people who believe in you. So don't piss them off. That's what I'm saying here. Don't piss them off. Okay, let's see. Let's kind of get some confirmation here for this Wheel of Fortune energy. Ooh, the Devil card. And that's what I'm saying. The Devil card is when our material attachments to things, the things that we're materially chained to, get in the way of what our soul wants, or it gets in the way of what our spirit is trying to do. Or it kind of gets in the way of our humanity, gets in the way of our goodness. That's when this Devil card pops up. And you have so much power and so much blessings where you're kind of in a position to, like, really, I'm getting like Wolf of Wall Street energy, where you're in a position where you can really take it to that material, kind of like devil-like energy, or you can take it to a place of more meaning. Because a dollar, if a dollar has no meaning, then $1 million is going to have no meaning. Do you know what I mean? Like, you will always want more for more's sake. And that's what this Devil card and the Wheel of Fortune is saying, is sometimes we can just keep wanting more and more and more, and we never feel satisfied, and we don't know why. Well, you're not applying meaning to any of this bullshit. You're not applying meaning to money. Money is just paper. Money, in so many ways, makes the world go round, and in so many ways is absolutely nothing, right? And you can kind of decide what that is for you. And I think there's something about value here, where what is the true value of what you're doing? This is the thing here, is you can make $10,000 a month, maybe, and still not feel fulfilled with your life. If that money, let's say it's lucrative money, you don't have to do anything. You're like, yay, that's so lucky. That's such a blessing. That's what everybody wants. But your day-to-day life is just you walking around your house lonely, enjoying your $10,000 a month with nobody to spend it with. And that doesn't mean anything, because the value for you wasn't the money. The value for you was company. The value for you was love. But you weren't able to focus on that, or maybe you didn't see that because society tells us that, like, success is what's going to fulfill us. I don't know. And I hope this is really difficult for me to describe, but essentially this energy feels like it's asking you to get beyond and beneath what society tells you is valuable, what your family has told you is valuable, and really get to that essence of yourself, an essence of what you want out of this life. For instance, I'll use me as a personal example, and my ass hates this because I am a private little Scorpio moon, but I'm trying to open up a little on the internet, okay? But example, I am someone who is always trying to grow my business, who is always trying to gain more knowledge. But when I really sit here and I think of what's valuable to me, because when I say gain my business, why do I want to do that? Because I want to be able to support myself, I want to be able to pay my bills, blah, blah, blah. But when I really think about it, and I think about what is gonna make me happy, it's not, this is why I'm pausing when I say this, is because in order for us to feel psychologically balanced enough to even chase other things like love, success, whatever, we need to have three things. We need to have shelter, we need to have food, and we need to have water. As long as you have those baseline things, then you're able to have the stability and the foundations to look for other things like happiness. And that's why money is important, right? Because money pays for shelter, money pays for water, money pays for food. And so we do that, and we grind for that. But our life, if it's focused on just grinding for that, it's not gonna make you happy. It's gonna make you a survivor, but you're not living. You're just surviving, but you're not living. And I think a big thing about these two cards is just trying to ask you, what do you live for? Group number 2, what do you live for? Because you're here for a reason, and you're alive for a reason, and your essence and your soul is so important here. And that's why I think in the month of July, maybe even the month of August, your soul's trying to get to that essence of, why did I come back? And what is really valuable to me? So I know how to get that. I know how to chase that. I'm tired of chasing nonsense. That's something I see with this group. I'm tired of chasing nonsense. I want my life to mean something. And I think you're getting very, very close to that answer of what your life means, or what your purpose is, or what your soul kind of came here to do. And I want to tell you, it's not always like a big shebang. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just find out they want to be a mom, and they came here to be a mom. Maybe in their past life they weren't able to do that. Some people came here to, reincarnated to see someone again. Maybe they have unfinished business with somebody. They came back here to see someone again. We're getting really esoteric now. So I'm going to try to move on. But it kind of, to me, this energy feels like there's a lot of humbling that comes from this. It's like you can either be humbled and grateful and really see something magical and mystical in the world, or you can let it get to your ego and you can lose yourself to the blessings. I know kind of what it feels like. Don't sell your soul. Ooh, that's a big, I get chills as I freaking say that. Don't sell your soul to this. Don't sell your soul. Oh man. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on with this. Chariot, we have the Knight of Swords. Love all this Knight energy for you. That's telling me you're ambitious. That's telling me you're ready for this. That's telling me you're not afraid. You're not afraid, and again, don't be rushing. I see this energy of rushing. Make sure, this guy right here, does he look like he's rushing? No. This guy right here is chilling in his chariot, letting the two sphinxes, carry him forward. And that's what you need to be doing, letting the momentum of life carry you forward. Don't rush it too much. Let's see what's up with this 10 of Pentacles energy. Knight of Pentacles energy. So that tells me that in a way, I think a lot of you are working on legacy, or in a way, I think a lot of you are working on your long-term career or whatever. And Slow and Steady is going to win the race with that. And I think something I'm seeing here too is, don't compare yourself to other people and other people's successes. That is a true killer of your happiness. I think you need to just kind of, you're only in competition with yourself, and that's that. So stop comparing yourself to other people. I also see an interesting kind of energy here with family, and maybe the healing of a family, or a karmic kind of completion with a family coming up. And that's getting kind of particular here. It might not resonate for everybody, but it just kind of feels like that there's a cultivation period here for a family, in terms of maybe karmas with money, maybe karmas with the security of your family. Something about that seems like it's coming to an end, and you're kind of coming out of the light with that as well, and things are gonna kind of ease up a bit. Cancer season has the sign of Cancer rules family. in astrology. So this season and a new moon can definitely highlight the energy of our family. And I think there's a new beginning that can happen here. I'm also feeling a lot of reflection going on as well. And usually we're in the deepest point of reflection right before a new beginning starts. And so I think we have to be honest with ourselves with that. Try not to turn a blind eye. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself feel. I'm seeing lots of inner child healing happening. Ooh, my tarot cards fell. Let me pick that up. But I'm not going to talk too much about family because I'm channeling that it's something very personal. So if anything like that is resonating with you, what I suggest doing is getting a personal reading done about your family. But yeah, okay everyone, so that was it for your new moon messages. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, why don't you comment down below some crab emojis, if there are crab emojis. If there's no crab emojis, then do sun emojis. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video and subscribe. Feel free to comment or tweet at me. I love interacting with you guys. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello everybody. So if you chose pile number 3 or the flower agate stone, then this message is for you. I love the stone. It's so pretty. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or if the camera is capturing the translucentness of this stone. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what your card is. Ooh, we have the 3 of discs. This is also known as works. Okay. So something I'm immediately channeling with this card is momentum. I'm channeling security. I'm channeling the Wheel of Fortune. I'm channeling, your Mars placement. It's grind time. It's go time. I'm also channeling, it just works. Something is working. Something is either working out, working for you, or you're putting in the work. Either way, I kind of feel like the wheels are turning now. And another thing I'm getting with this card is, as I feel like, somebody here, this might not be true for everybody, but somebody here is expecting perfection. And it's kind of holding them back. I think you kind of have to know when to kind of have that high status for yourself and when it's time to just get shit done. Do you know what I mean? Excuse my language, but it's true. When it's time to just turn in that work, make sure it's good, don't make sure it's sloppy, but you don't have to sit there trying to obsess about it and perfect it. You're wasting too much time doing that. And I think what Spirit is saying is trust in your ability and your skill, that you're actually very good to get things done quick and easy. I feel you're not trusting in yourself, and that's where this need to double triple check things is coming in, and this need to be perfect is coming in, and you're stressing yourself out too much with that. And I think it's because you feel the high sense of you feel like there's a lot at stake, or you feel something's finally working, and you maybe feel like it's delicate and you really want to take care of it. It's not that delicate. I feel like it's actually quite secure. Whatever it is you're working for, whatever it is that is working out for you, whatever, it actually feels quite secure. And why do I say that? The number 3 is a sign of, or a number of security. 3, when you have 2, you kind of just have a line. Everything's very flat. Once you put a 3rd on top, things become dimensional. Suddenly you have shelter. You can be in the middle. You have what's the word? Not a building, but you have a shape. You know what I mean? It's not just a flat line. You now have a shape. You have life to it. You have something working. You have something you're building on. So something tells me that you're working from the ground up, that you have the basics of what you need right now, or you have the basics down or whatever. And maybe now it's time to figure out how you're going to stand out in this craft compared to or in your job or in your place of work or whatever, I'm also kind of getting energy of colleagues, the energy of collaboration, because in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Three of Pentacles is the photo of like this person. They're like looking at the Three of Pentacles. They've been working at that Three of Pentacles, and there's two people on the side looking at them. If I remember to edit this in, like the photo, and I will. I probably won't, because to be quite honest, I don't rewatch these videos. I just give the message, I upload them, and I go. But anyway, if I do remember to include that, I will. But yeah, I kind of feel this energy of collaboration, or I feel this energy of you getting attention. People see too that something's working out for you. People see that you're putting in the work as well. Like, and I think it helps you in terms of popularity, perhaps. I think it helps you grow. I think it also, like, people are starting to see like you're doing everything right, or people are starting to see like, yes, you really have a spot at the table here. I like that. I feel like things are really in your control too. These like wheels kind of remind me of like the they remind me of wheels on a carriage, but they also kind of remind me of a steering wheel on a boat, on a ship. And it kind of makes me think of the image of the I think it's the Six of Swords. Maybe it's the Six of Wands. I don't know. You'd think I'd know. I read tarot every damn day. But it's a photo of like this dude on a boat, and they're sailing away. And I think that's the Six of Swords. Again, I'll put the photo up. But this wheel makes me think like that things are very much in your control right now, and that you can manage everything. And that I also like this energy of Mars coming up here. I don't know if you guys see this, but I think this kind of tells me to, I think what that is saying is actually telling you to check in with your Mars placement, learn about your Mars placement. Your Mars in astrology rules how we fuel ourselves, and it rules kind of like our energetic bank. And so if we feel like we don't have any energy at all, you got to look at what's happening with Mars. If you feel like you have way too much energy, you got to look at what's happening with Mars. So check out your Mars placement, look at what house and what zodiac sign it's in, and learn about it. And I think you might learn a bit more about yourself and how you can better control, you know, what's working out for you, how you can better put in the work so you can, you know, achieve your goals, and so on and so on. And I also am getting like Capricorn energy here. And I haven't even pulled tarot yet, but like I'm getting a lot of Capricorn energy here. And when I think of Capricorn energy, I think of like pulling yourself out of the rut. You know what I mean? I think of like pure like determination and focus. I think of people getting what they want, you know, no matter what. I feel like Capricorns have this way of just getting what they want. Awesome manifestors. People don't give Capricorn the credit for being as good of a manifestor that, you know, they are. And perhaps some of you are Capricorns. Perhaps some of you have been dealing with the Capricorn. And if you are, I think those things that I named are things you can learn from the Capricorns around you. But let's go ahead and pull tarot now. I've been itching to pull this tarot because I'm already channeling tarot cards. I'm gonna make sure I'm not out of frame. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what tarot messages come up for this group. What are some messages coming up? So this new moon we have coming up, it's on the 9th. It's going to be in the sign of Cancer. So check out what house Cancer rules. That area of life, there will, you know, most likely be a new beginning or a new cycle. And so something that I'm hoping that these messages do is give you some confirmation or give you some type of guidance when it comes to you initiating that new beginning. You guys might have noticed I'm not really that type of tarot reader who likes to say like, this is what's going to happen on this week. You're going to meet, you know, a new person on this week and yada yada. And I'm not shitting on that type of reading style, but I just don't believe in telling people that they have to like live their life a certain way because the tarot card said it. I believe in giving people guiding messages so they can, you know, better decide for themselves what they want. So yeah, that's kind of my style. Ooh, okay. So we have Queen of Wands coming out. I like this energy a lot. Ooh, and King. And King. Let's put them together. I like them together. I like this energy coming out of King and Queen. It's showing to me a mastering of your duality. And it was interesting because I was channeling the energy of duality so heavily before I went to bed last night. And you know what I was channeling is that people can sometimes, like, if we don't have our two sides of us, or our duality working together in one harmony, what we can sometimes do is confuse people. What we can sometimes do is trick people, because sometimes we're one way, you know, and this Queen of Wands way, and sometimes we're the other way, this King of Wands way. You know what I mean? And I think it's when we learn how to hone in our duality, when we learn how to hone in the devil and angel on our shoulder, when we learn how to hone in the two sides of our personalities, whatever, and we learn how to make them be one, that's when people start to understand, like, what we are, who we are, why, you know what I mean, why we're here, why we're like that. And I think you're just now starting to understand that for yourself. You know, maybe it's interesting, this sense of duality, because I think everybody has an area in life where they are dualistic. They might not be dualistic all the time. You know, that's probably more of the mutable signs like Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. But I still think that everybody has moments in life where they are dualistic, where they are a little bit, you know, back and forth, or where you do see a different face maybe to them than a normal face. This kind of indicates to me that two really big main sides of you are finally working together. So what's the word I'm looking for? Example. An example of this, I would say, is, let's say you have like an inner like yin energy where you're very like, you know, optimistic, maybe you're a little bit more submissive, but you also have a side to you that is very yang, where you're a lot more, you know, dominant, and you like to show both. You know, I think you maybe like to show both, and I think now you're embracing both. Now you are learning how both fit into your life, into your personality, and you're learning how, in what ways, in what areas in life are you representing both. And so another example I would say is, let's say someone that, you know, you're someone who might be a little bit more shy out in the real world, but, you know, in the home you're very dominant. Maybe now you're learning how to be dominant out in the real world and be a little bit more chill and submissive in the home. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's this cool sense of learning how to lead to the other side of you, or learning how to at least redirect your energy so it's working in a more harmonious way this month. So interesting. Let's see what other cards come out. What other new moon messages do you have for this group? What other new moon messages do you have for this group? I like this energy of the cat here with the Queen of Wands. That to me indicates a lot of spiritual protection, a lot of spirit guides even around you. The cat in mysticism is a very protective, intuitive animal, and so I really feel a lot of magic around you, and a lot of like energetic support here. And for this King of Wands, I see like this little like reptile guy, and when I think of reptiles, I think of like shedding your skin, and I think of also like their eyes being able to see in the night. And I feel like there's something about you that is like that is able to see in the night, maybe suddenly being able to have clarity in an area of life that was super foggy, maybe finally being able to think more positively in an area of life that was really negative and dark for you. You know, there's that energy of being able to cut through the darkness and still see. I like that energy a lot. Any other cards want to come out for new moon messages for this group? Oh, I can also see the energy of perhaps like a very harmonious connection coming in with this King and Queen of Wands. Now, this connection doesn't have to be a heteronormative one, but what I see is it's a coupling type of connection. Like, I mean, like complementing is a better word. Complementing type of connection. And when things are complementary, you know, you really don't have to work that hard for it. And I think that's something that's true about this connection, if one is coming up for you, is you don't have to work so hard for it. You don't have to work so hard to be a part of the group. You don't have to work so hard to be a part of, to be someone's friend, to be a part of the workplace, to have that person. And I think that might be, you know, something you've been doing is maybe trying a little too hard. You don't have to, because you already got it made. Like, you already got it the best. So all you have to do is show up and be you, and people will be attracted to that. People would want that. Let's see, I like this energy of Knight of Pentacles and Page of Cups, because to me they're very opposite. We have our Knight of Pentacles, super suave, super smooth, super laid back, chill, consistent, focused. And then we have our Page of Pentacles, who's a little more goofy, a little more funny, a little more comedic, a little more aloof and all over the place. And again, you know, that might be like another sense of like two sides coming together. And, you know, if it's not two sides, it could be totally you and somebody else, if that's true. But to me, this feels like two inner sides of you. And I feel like there's this energy of like knowing when it's time to be serious versus knowing when it's time to play and have fun. I feel like you're someone who is always serious, always working hard, very focused on their goals. And I think when you don't have passion for something, when you don't have focus on something, then you could be this Page of Cups where maybe you're like aloof and not really, you know, caring about life, and maybe like, you know, fooling around and whatnot. And I think now you're starting to maybe again learn how to balance both. Know when it's time to be serious and work and grind, and when it's time to give yourself a break and have some fun. Another thing I'm seeing here is random surprises, random news coming up around this new moon. I can also see, and I never say this as a reader, but I can also see somebody from your past coming up. And I say that because I feel like that message is thrown around like it's nobody's business, and it's like, come on, how often are past people coming up? But no, I feel like with this new moon, there might be some past people coming up. Why? Cancer, it rules our past, all right? And it rules our roots, all right? It rules our memories, nostalgia. And as we build up to this new moon, I think that's when those memories and those nostalgic moments become the most potent, because they're coming out of you energetically and they're getting ready to be released. And so sometimes right before that new moon is when people miss people the most, is when people feel the most nostalgic. And it's because they're about to let them go. They're about to start a new cycle. They're about to, you know, release that person. So sometimes people might come up and say something to you as, you know, final words, final goodbyes, just wanting to check in to see where things are at right before they move on, and so on and so on. So that's something I see there. But what I mainly kind of see for people who are really done with the past, because I do feel heavily with this group that a lot of you are done with the past. I feel like there's a surprise coming up, like some surprise news, some surprise, like, I don't know. So we also have this Seven of Wands came out. I'm going to put it back because I wasn't calling for a card yet. So it probably fell out accidentally, but I want to just show it to you guys in case it pops back up. Then, you know, we know it was really meant to come out. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shuffle and get some confirmation for these cards. And maybe we'll move on to lessons too, because I do feel like these cards are pretty straightforward. All right, let's see. Can I get a confirmation card for the Queen of Wands? Can I get a confirmation card for the Queen of Wands? We have, okay, Seven of Pentacles. All right. Let's get a confirmation for the King of Wands. So interesting. Let's get a confirmation for the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful. Ace of Cups. And let's get a confirmation for the Page of Cups. We have Page of Wands. I'm going to pull a different card. I don't really do this, but I'm not feeling this Page of Cups coming out to confirm that Page of Cups. I'm just not. We're going to pull a new one. We're going to pull a new one. If it comes out again, it comes out again, and I'll leave it alone. But let's ask for a new confirmation for this Page of Cups. Okay. 8 of Swords. Okay. So I'm seeing a bit more of the shadow aspects here when I pull these, you know, confirmation cards. I like to see what's happening on a more, you know, conscious side, and then I want to see what's happening on an unconscious side. So something that I'm seeing with this 7 of Pentacles energy and the 10 of Wands energy is the universe really tested you. They have tested you, and I feel like this is in a way where they've tested your commitment to things, they've tested your trust for the universe, they've tested your intuition, and so on and so on. And I want you to know that this testing is paying off. It's paying off because look at this King and Queen of Wands coming in. This testing is what is allowing you to really learn how to balance yourself, learn how to live in harmony, learn how to use your strengths and your weaknesses to the best of its ability. Okay? And I feel I'm channeling the 7 of coins here. I'm going to grab some baby tarot to further confirm it because I feel a few messages coming out. But one thing I'm getting with this 7 of Swords or 7 of Pentacles energy is maybe in order for things to like be working now, something in the past had to not work. All right, something in the past had to not work, and you kind of had that tower moment. And I think that tower moment was a test of your intuition, was a test in how much you believe in yourself and something more for yourself. You know, you knew there was more out there than this, and that's why you had to let this go and make that change. But let's go ahead and get some confirmation for this 7 of Pentacles energy, please. We have our Ace of Swords. I love this so much because this to me indicates that you are rerouting yourself in a situation that is just mentally, it's clear to you. It's like you're out of this fog of like, should I do this? Is this right for me? Am I on the right path? Blah, blah. You have like this sense of mental clarity. You have new ideas coming in that are gonna work. You have new projects that you're starting that are gonna work. You know what I mean? You have a new game plan here that is gonna work. So I think that this test, you really passed it. You know, I think you really passed it. I'm getting a little specific here, and I can sometimes do that. I try not to be too specific so it can resonate with people. But let's see what's going on with this King of Wands and 10 of Wands energy. And I feel here that there was something that you had to have courage for. In my last reading, it was the month ahead for July reading. One of the messages there talked about facing your fears this July, and how I think that's like a big part of your like evolution and you moving forward. And something tells me that, you know, I don't know if you've watched that, but if you're here watching that now, something tells me that you are facing your fears, that you are being courageous, that you kind of like, you got your cojones, you know what I mean? You got your cojones in, and you know when to use them. I hope that didn't sound too dirty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know when to use your courage. Let's see. Can we get some confirmation for this King of Wands? Oop, there it is. Yay! I love this confirmation. We have our 6 of Rods. So that to me shows that people are starting to see the power coming from you. People recognize the triumph and the wins that you're having. I feel like you're someone who's been celebrating a lot of like little wins, or like hidden wins, or like secret wins, or just, you know, private wins. And it's like people see it anyway. Like, I think people can see that you're sneaking up on them. It feels like people really underestimated you, and they shouldn't have. This is giving me the energy of like the underdog that is like winning, the underdog that is like proving everybody wrong. I love that. So I want a confirmation on this Knight of Pentacles. And what did we get? The Seven of Rods. And what was I saying? The underdog that is winning. And that confirms to me that you are. And I like this Ace of Cups. There's an overflow here of like emotion. And I think it's really important to let it come up out of you and pour out. It's releasing. Because I think for this group, there's a lot of like old like relationship stuff, a lot of old like friendship stuff, a lot of old like, I don't know, ooh, my ear is ringing as I say that, but there's a lot of old like relationship stuff or whatever that is like done and over with. And I think you don't have to like be limited or be anchored by it anymore. And so it's coming out. It's overflowing out of you and it's coming out. And that's okay. I think there's a lot of emotional charge here as well. So you want to watch that. Remember, are we talking about watch your Mars placement? Watch your moon placement too. Your moon rules emotions. Maybe see how moon and Mars are talking in your chart. But if you need an astrologer's help for that, or yeah, look up moon and Mars. Why am I blanking on the word? But look at moon and Mars aspects. That's the word, aspects, on YouTube, and I'm sure a lot will pop up. But it seems to me that there's a lot of emotional charge here for this group. So make sure you're charging yourself from a place of love. Love is a really, really powerful emotion, and it'll get you so much further than if you were rooting or charging yourself from a place of fear or from a place of hate, you know? All right, let's see what's up with this Page of Cups and this 8 of Swords energy. This to me kind of tells me that whatever news this is or whatever pops up like blindsides you a little bit. Don't let it throw you off. But I feel a little bit of like a blindsiding energy happening here. Look at that, our 3 of Cups coming in. Again, this energy of 3. Third party situations, groups, friends. There's an energy of like a news or a person coming up there, and I think it blindsides you a little bit. And I think, again, you need to snap out of it. You need to know how to snap out of it, because you don't have a reason to be blindsided right now. You have Ace of Swords here showing strong mental clarity. You have King and Queen here showing that your spirit is in the right place. So don't let anyone throw you off spiritually, but it kind of feels like this is a good and exciting news. And I feel like it only throws you off because you like it, because you want it, and you're like, how do I incorporate this into my momentum? But let me tell you, it's okay to have a fourth wheel. It's okay to have a fourth thing keeping you stable, keeping you happy. I think you're strong enough and organized enough and determined enough to maintain another area of life for you. You know, if you want to get back out there and make friends, you can maintain that. If you want to get back out there and have a relationship and date around or whatever, you can maintain that and still get everything you need to do done. But you got to say that within yourself. You know what I mean? You got to know that within yourself. That if you go into this, you know, thinking I'm going to let this be my distraction, don't throw things away for a distraction. Don't throw things away for like temporary help. I'm just seeing this energy of like something really fun kind of come in and like throw you off if you let it. And it kind of feels a little bit like another test. But I think you got it because you've been passing all your tests lately. So let's see. All right, this message is getting a little bit long, so I'll go ahead and cut it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Why don't you guys comment down below the number 3, or comment down below what's something we can comment. I'm trying to think of a cute like emoji. Yeah, no, let's comment down number 3. I want to see 333s on the bottom, actually. So that's how I'll know you made it this far, and that's how I'll know you picked this pile. Thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, so that way I know you guys like these kinds of contents and these kinds of videos, and I can keep putting them out. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Hello everyone, if you chose the aquamarine or pile number 4, then this message is going to be for you. I'm really excited to talk about this card. I had been meditating on this card and on this group for the last 2 days. I actually took a break from filming. I filmed the other 3 all in one day, took a break from filming, and today feels like the day for this group. So I'm excited. This is actually the day right before the new moon. The moon just entered Cancer right now, and so I'm excited. So this should be going up same day too, so let's see. So we have our Ace of Wands here. Whenever I see aces, I think of new roots, new footing, new foundations, and Wands has to deal a lot with spirituality. And I think something about our spirits right now might be feeling a little bit down, might be feeling a little bit tired, you know? And something I'm sensing from this group is that this group has set themselves up on a path where they are maybe going for their long-term goals, long-term ambitions. And the thing with long-term goals and long-term ambitions is you need to be okay with delayed gratification in order to achieve them. So delayed gratification is, you know, maybe having to not go on, you know, that summer trip with your friends because you're going to stay and do summer classes to work on that long-term goal. Delayed gratification is maybe not having the dessert, you know, because you're training for a marathon. So it's this sense of having focus, of having grit, of knowing when something's going to throw you off, of knowing when you can't have something, you know. The delayed gratification is maybe not going out and going shopping and going to bars and eating out because you need to save up money because you want to buy a new car. And we all have to be okay with doing that. And, you know, I think a lot of what we see about spirituality on social media, you know, tells you to invest more time in the things that make you happy and to invest more time in pleasure and all that kind of stuff. And I think that is so very much true. But we also want to make sure we're staying in balance, because you can overdo anything. You can overdo anything, and you can definitely invest too much time in pleasure and in happiness, and then you don't get anything done. And us as humans, we are not built to be happy 24/7. When we see people who are happy 24/7, we look at them like, how the F are you doing that? How are you doing that? How are you waking up, you know, nice and happy and you're just staying that way? But we're also not supposed to be gloomy and 24/7 either. So I think something we have to be aware of is where we're at and making sure that we're balancing it out. If we're feeling too gloomy, that is when we want to go ahead and do something that makes us happy. When we're being too much in our pleasures and doing, you know, all the things that make us happy and not getting any work done, that's when we want to practice a little bit more grit and practice a little bit more of that delayed gratification. And I think something that's hard about delayed gratification and having long-term goals is that you can lose your sense of drive and your sense of focus, and you can kind of forget why you started this, you know. And I think it's important to have like those mood boards or like photos up of your goals or whatever, so you don't like lose sight of what you're going for, I keep channeling the words like, keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the prize. Okay. I'm also sensing so much like emotion coming up this month for everybody, not just this group, but for everybody. And I think it's kind of important right now to like let your emotions do their job. Something I learned in my psychology class today is this just, you know, it's very basic information, but I just want to remind everybody of it. But something we talked about in my psych class today is that, you know, every emotion, it has a purpose. We have these primary emotions, you know, happiness, fear, anger, disgust, content, is excitement one of them? Not sure, but joy. We have these primary emotions, and we have them for a reason. They signal things to our body. Like, for example, with having fear as an emotion, it helps us keep safe. You know, if something were, you know, if we weren't able to feel fear, we wouldn't be able to detect when something's dangerous, and we wouldn't know to get ourselves out of that situation. So every emotion has a purpose. So that's kind of what I mean by let the emotions do their job. You know, that energy of anxiety you might be feeling, well, why are you feeling anxious? Your body's trying to tell you something. So listen more to your body, communicate more with your emotions. There's truth in there. There's truth in there that I think is important. It's important for you to know. Let's go ahead and pull some new moon messages for this group. So I've been doing a really bad job in explaining what the new moon is, but essentially we have a new moon and a full moon every month. It's part of the lunar cycle. And we have a new moon in Cancer. So the Cancer is, or new moons are always going down in like the same sign as the sun, and the full moons are always opposite of the sun. So I like to look at new moons and full moons as kind of like checking points. You know, times where you can check in with yourself and set new intentions for the month, and times where you can check in with yourself and release some stuff before the new month begins. And so check out where the sign of Cancer is happening in your chart. That house, there might be some type of new beginning or a new cycle initiated there, or new intentions set. Okay, so let's see. I love that we have this Empress card coming out and the energy of Venus present. Venus is actually having a fun week. Next week that she's going to be going in, she's going to be in exact conjunction with Mars. Venus is already conjunct Mars, I believe, but they're going to be exact next week. And that's a really romantic energy. So a lot of us might be feeling a little bit more romantic, might be feeling more down for a relationship, down for new friendships, down for some company. Something I like about this Empress card is the energy of like fertility, the energy of getting ready to birth something new. So perhaps that something new isn't quite there. I think there has been a lot of new beginnings for this group right off the bat because, hey, new moon, new beginnings. But I also think there's a lot sort of like on the verge or like on the brink, or there's a lot like getting ready to come out there. And it's I feel like something I don't want to say you're not completely like aware of, but I think some of you don't even know what's coming. and it's going to be beautiful what's coming though. So, but if you're feeling called to like take care of yourself, do that, because it's probably getting you set up for this fertility. It kind of feels, it's reminding me of this, I think it was the Cancer reading in Sky Esoterics. Like he does like monthly readings for all the zodiac signs, and I think it is the Cancer July reading, which you should watch, by the way. Even if you're not a Cancer, watch it, because you know it's Cancer season right now. I'll link it down below. I love that astrologer. But anyway, they talk about how with fertility and with pregnancy, right, you're supposed to like take care of the body right? In a way where, in order for this fertility to happen. So when a person is, he talks about like when a person's pregnant, they can't just like go out and drink, right? Delayed gratification. They have to not drink for the 9 months in order to protect what is being built, what they're fertilizing, what they're growing inside of them. And, you know, when women are pregnant, they can't work after a certain amount of time period. You know, they have to let their body rest. And so there's all these like particular nitty gritty things that need to get done in order for this birthing process to happen. And I think that's a lot of what your spirit guides are trying to say. Ooh, I get chills as I say that. Please watch the astrologer. Please watch the Cancer video from Sky Esoteric's YouTube channel, because that pregnancy analogy is not mine. I'm not claiming that by any means. I'm quoting him, but please watch that video because, you know, he elaborates way more on that. But let's see what else we can get out here. Okay, these cards fell, but I'm not really liking how they fell. We're gonna put them back and try again. Okay. Another thing I'm sensing for this group is a lot of angstiness. And I think it's, again, angstiness because you feel that there's a lot like on the brink, or there's a lot like on the verge to happen. So, you know, again, I think it's important to make sure you channel that anxiety out of your body in some type of way. You know, exercise, write it out, talk to a friend, but let it out. Just be aware of it, channel it, process it, let it out, because anxiety building up in the body, you know, it's not good. It can make us sick, it can make us tired, it can drain us of energy. So make sure you're processing that out. But I do feel a little bit of anxiety here with this group. And I want you to know, like, too, that you have time. Group number 4, you have time. I feel like something about this group feels like they have to, like, there's a sense of impatience I'm feeling. And so, and as I say that, we have the 4 of Swords coming out. And like, does this person look like they're in a rush? No, they're chilling, they're hanging out, they're resting. And that's what you got to be doing. You got to be letting all these things blossom. You got to let all these things fertilize. There's so much like in the works for you. Funny because and as I say that, Wheel of Fortune popping out, what I say, there's so much like in the works for you that it all feels so like perfectly planned out that if you mess with it, it kind of feels like you throw it off a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? But let's see what else is coming out for this new moon. Ooh, and as I said, we have the 2 of Swords. So it's interesting to me that the 2 of Swords is coming out, because something I see about this 2 of Swords energy is the blindfold. And really, I feel like nothing right now should be super unclear. I don't think anything right now should be blindsiding you at all. I'm gonna try, let's get some confirmation on what this split is for group number 4. What is this divide going on I'm seeing here? Let's see. Okay. What else we have here? Let's put this Queen of Swords back and give it a shuffle. And now let's just pull the rest of the spread then, so I can see what's going on. Ooh, the Lovers coming out. Definitely. Ooh, that went flying. 7 of Swords coming out. And Page of Pentacles coming out. Let me channel this for a second. So I'm looking at this 9 of Swords energy here coming out to confirm the 2 of Swords. And I'm seeing that there is too much going on in the head. I feel like this group, you need to get out of your head a little bit more. I feel like we've been really in our head. And I think it's because there's been so much to juggle that, and there's been like a lot of like chaos going around. I can feel that things are kind of a little bit unorganized for this group, or something about this group's life is like not very much in their control, and I don't think this group likes that. But you kind of have to be okay with it right now, because like I was saying earlier, it kind of feels like even that things are so perfectly like planned out divinely that if you know, try to intervene, then you can actually throw things off. So kind of learn how to go with the flow a little bit more. Get out of your head. You need to get out of your head. I think you need to like go on a walk, or like hang out with more friends. Like something about this group, I feel like you need to start building your physical, tangible reality. And I see that here with Page of Pentacles and the Empress. Like something about this group, I'm feeling like maybe like a lot of your life has been online, or a lot of your life has been like kind of lonely or spent alone. And I really feel like now is the time for you to make bonds and for you to connect with people. And I see that here with the Lovers card as well, and the Wheel of Fortune card. And I think that's going to keep you out of your head. It's going to keep you much happier. I think there's I keep channeling this energy of like, you know, I'm working for this life, and I'm grinding, and I want my goals, but like honestly, these things don't really matter to me if I don't have people. If I don't have people to share it with, if I don't have people to cheer for me, if I don't have people to cheer for, and so on and so on. And I also learned in my psychology class today that like relationships and bonding with people is one of the best ways to increase happiness for people. And also, as humans, we're naturally built to want that, because we as humans by ourselves, we're not very like scary creatures, you know. We don't have sharp teeth, and we aren't very big and whatnot, so we have this natural urge to find other people to bond and to create a community in order to feel safe, secure, and strong. And you know, with circumstances and the way things have been in the last year, I feel like that's been hard to do. And I think now you're kind of easing your way into it. Now you're kind of finding ways to do it. I think you gotta, like I was sensing earlier, you know, we had that Venus Mars coming to exact conjunction next week. That's a really good time to go out there and meet new people. Go out to the bars. You never know what's gonna happen. Like go out, make a Tinder profile or whatever. Just make sure you're safe. You're keeping safe. But I feel like you got to work on that tangible reality, you know. So having like people that you see, or having like a place to go to every day, like a job, or like a class, or like a, you know, the gym, or like yoga. Like you need a tangible life. Something about, I feel like this group's life has felt really out of body, and you're like coming down from that cloud now, and you're getting back in your body. And I think you're kind of like I said, you're set up for the long run now. So something about your life is gonna be a bit more permanent. And I think a lot of your life like hasn't been permanent in a while. And so I think it's important to make sure that whatever is permanent is something that you're genuinely going to be happy with. And I think you are. And I think this permanence is kind of coming in regards to relationships with this Lovers card. It could be in regards to your work, in regard with the Wheel of Fortune here. It could be in regards to family, and you maybe even building your own family with the Empress here. It could definitely see pregnancy coming from the month of July. We're gonna have Jupiter trining the sun too. Can definitely see pregnancy coming up. With that being said, if you don't want to get pregnant, then make sure you are, you know, keeping yourself protected over here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get some lesson cards for this group. This Seven of Swords energy is interesting. let me channel that a bit. Because one thing I channeled is, which is not going to be true for everybody, so take it if it resonates, but something I channeled is like, you know, a little bit of evil eye here, like somebody's a little bit mad or like jealous or something that you have it a certain way or that you're set up in a certain way. And I think it's really important to, if that's like you, if you're somebody who's feeling a little bit jealous, make sure you're not comparing yourselves to other people. Like, the only timing that matters is your own time. The only person you're in competition with is your own self. So don't be looking at what everyone else is doing. And if you're someone who maybe you feel like people around you or been a little jealous of you or been throwing evil eye at you, don't let that stop you from shining. Don't let that stop you from doing your best. Don't ever dim your light out to make other people comfortable. Okay, let's go ahead and get some lessons here. Oh my God, and as I say that, the lesson of envy came out. It says, envy, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Okay, yep, you take out, you know, our skin and our outer layer, and what do we have? We're all meaty, bloody, bony creatures inside. We're all the same, but everybody has different challenges, and every, you know, challenge and pain and hurt, that shit's in abundance. Unfortunately, nobody's lacking in that area, so we have to make sure we are giving out a lot more kindness, a lot more compassion, and especially if you want to form these relationships. I tweeted the other day, small talk leads to big talk. Okay, and you know that means you gotta do the small talk with people before you have those deep bonds. You gotta do the little icebreakers, a little how was your days, a little, you know, what's your favorite color type questions before you get into the deep talks and before you really see the genuine, raw, real parts of people. And I think something about this society doesn't take the time to do that because, again, we like instant gratification. We want things done right away. We want to be in love right away. We want romance right away. No one's willing to do the time, do the work, and I think it's important to do that. Let's see what else we can get out with this energy. So yeah, and I also think it's important to not invalidate like other people's difficulties. That's another thing I'm seeing here. I feel like that could be like a cousin to jealousy or a cousin to envy, when we feel like not threatened by, but we feel like somebody else's reality, someone else's story takes away from ours in some type of way. I'm getting a lot of like, I'm channeling the message of check your Saturn placement, because one of the signs of like not a debilitated Saturn, but a kind of like a Saturn that needs work is when, you know, someone wants to see other people kind of like suffer the way they suffered. So it's an example of this would be like, well, I had to work my 9 to 5 and I had to do this year-long internship in order to get here, so you also have to work a 9 to 5 and do a year-long internship in order to get here, because that's what's fair. You know, it's like being mad at other people for having it easier, or being mad at other people for, you know, getting quicker or getting something quicker or whatever. And be aware of that. If you're doing that, try not to do that anymore, because I think it is holding you back more than you know. And I think it might even be stopping you from really supporting and connecting people. Also be aware if you're around that energy. Don't let somebody kind of like project their struggles onto you, or project their pain onto you, or make something your problem, or make something your fault when it's not. Okay. All right, let's see what else we can get from this message. Can I get some more lessons for group number 4? Some more lessons. Okay. Denial. So it says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So that kind of reminds me of what I was saying about let your emotions do their job. Sometimes when we suppress our emotions like that, we're also suppressing like the message, the necessary message that our body was trying to tell us. We're ignoring what the alert, you know, that our body gave us. And let me keep, wow, why did I just get, I feel like I just got like disconnected, but let me like reconnect here. I had like a train of thought and I just lost my train of thought. And that, my friends, is my ADHD coming in to play, to say hello to everybody. Hi. But, right, denial. Oh yeah, so I was channeling a little bit of like an illusion type energy here. And it's funny because like I said, you know, with that Two of Swords, when it came out, and I was like, I don't understand why this person's blindfolded, denial, why they're not seeing things, denial, when in reality the energy is very front, center, and clear right now. Really, there should be no fogginess right now. And I think again, it's you not acknowledging your fears, or it's you not acknowledging your emotions, not acknowledging your body, not acknowledging these signals around you. It's like you're not reading the room, you know? All right, any other lessons for this group? I kind of want to get one more. Let's get one more. Guilt. Oh, wow. It's funny because I talked about guilt in my psychology class too today. Wow, I feel like my psychology class like really came through with some messages for us. But anyways, it says guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul growth. It's interesting because what my teacher was saying is guilt isn't necessarily the best way to learn, okay? And there is this TED Talk that my teacher sent in the class group chat. I'll link that TED Talk down below. I haven't watched it, but I really trust my teacher's recommendations enough to recommend it to you guys. And I'll make sure to watch like the first like 5 minutes of it, 10 minutes of it, but I'm sure it's amazing. I'll link that down below, but it's a TED Talk about guilt. And I kind of wish I watched that before this reading, because then I would have had probably messages to pull from that. But anyway, but my teacher was saying like guilt isn't necessarily the best thing, the best way to learn. And the TED Talk talks about what's wrong with I guess guilt and how our society uses it. So check that out. But yes, forgive yourself and release any beliefs that no longer assist your soul growth. Okay, you don't have to feel. I'm feeling guilt in regards to career and in regards to like all the things blossoming right now. It kind of feels like there's a sense of like guiltiness if you want to take a rest, or like guiltiness if you like want to like drop something or let it go because it's too much. Do you know what I mean? Like this is an example I'm kind of sensing right now, like feeling guilty that you want to like drop a class maybe because you realize that you can't handle a full-time job and freaking 5 classes a week, or sorry, 4 classes a week, and you're a parent too, and you just realize that you have too much and maybe you want to drop a class, and that's making you feel a little guilty. And I don't think anyone should feel guilty for knowing their strengths and their weaknesses, for knowing their limitations and respecting that. The same way we ask other people to respect our boundaries, we ourselves have to respect our own boundaries. So don't feel guilty, okay? Don't feel guilty. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I think that wraps it up for this new moon message. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this, comment down below. Comment down below some sunflower emojis so that way I know you picked this pile. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, or comment down below, or tweet at me. I really love when you guys tweet at me. It just feels like I get feedback from you guys. I get to interact with you guys too. But yeah, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you. I'll see you guys in my next reading. Bye bye.